Okay, so for this Pilates session, we're going to go straight into it. We're going to start on our hands and knees. So you're going to take your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And we're just going to really focus on grounding through the palms of the hands to start with. So think of all the way from the tips of the 5 fingers down to the heel of your hand. And especially pressing down through the bases of the fingers. We're going to just take a few deep breaths here, focusing on length into the tailbone, length through the crown of the head. And I want you to try to keep the shoulder blades drawing down your back, so nice length in the neck. We're going to take a deep breath in here and a long breath out. Imagine you're breathing out into a straw, and towards the end of that breath out, you're going to start to just feel that little connection deep into the pelvis and the tummy muscles. Keeping nice and strong and long in the neck. Okay, 2 more like that. Really quiet on that breath out, not a loud or forceful breath, and certainly not a quick breath. 1 more like that. Good. We're going to add a little bit of movement, so you're going to take 1 more breath in, and then on your breath out, you're going to draw the tailbone down, lift the belly button up, lift the lower ribs up, push the floor away, and let the crown of your head be heavy. Breathing in, opposite direction. Tailbone is lifting, belly button is lowering, chest drawing forwards, and head lifting up. 2 more in either direction. Breathing out. And breathing in. Good. Last one. And breath in. Good. And then coming back to that neutral position. We're going to tuck the toes, and now we're going to add a little bit more effort into that. As you breathe out, you're going to push into the hands, float the knees, feel that frame between the hands up to the shoulders and across the rib cage, and then you're going to flex up into your cat stretch. Breathing in, knees very softly landing on the floor, you're going to extend. Breathing out, drawing the belly button up, pushing the floor away, hovering the knees. Breathing in, soft landing on the knees, and extend tailbone to the crown of your head. 1 more in either direction, breath out. And breath in. Good. And then coming back to that neutral position. 2 options here. I'm going to come forward a little bit so we're a bit more mat. I'm going to slide one leg straight, so that toe may stay on the floor or it may float up. Either way, what I'm looking for is legs. So I really want you to reach through. The heel of the toes are on the floor, or the toes if the leg is reaching. And think of a strong line going from the crown of the head all the way to that back foot. Okay? Then of the knee that's on the floor, the opposite hand, I want you to think about pushing them into the floor just gently and feeling that diagonal line of tension from the knee to the opposite hand. And then as you breathe in, reach the opposite hand up towards the ceiling. Breathing out, scooping the belly button upwards as you reach the hand under. Breathing in, so it can be a balance challenge if the leg is up. A little bit less of a balance challenge if the toe is down. So going with a free range, trying to get those ribs twisting in both directions, shoulder stretching. Good, last scoop under, and then both hands, both knees back on the floor, take a quick stretch back, and then coming back up, checking in that you're in your neutral position, so not tucking the tailbone, not sinking the ribs down, and stretch the opposite leg away. Either toes tuck, stretch through the heel, or reach through the toes. Strong line, crown of the head to that back foot, breathing in, lift that arm up. Breathing out, scoop the belly button and reach the opposite hand under. 2 or 3 more like that. Breath in. Going as slow as you need to, as fast as you're able to. And last one. Reaching. And then both hands, both knees down. Another quick stretch back. Perfect. From here, coming back onto the hands and knees. So what we're looking for is to keep the lower back as neutral as possible, and to avoid the back sinking down, we're going to ever so slightly think about drawing the tailbone down. So I don't want the back to round, but I want you to think about drawing the tailbone down to keep the length in the spine. Pushing through the hands, slide one leg back, tuck the toes, and then strong breath out. Keep that tailbone ever so slightly tucked as you extend the second leg. Hold it here as you take a breath in, and then one knee at a time, coming back down. Take a breath. Whatever leg went first the last time is going to go second this time. Slide one leg back. Strong breath out. Second leg back. Take your breath in, and then one leg at a time, back down. Perfect. Okay, from here, I'm going to take my left elbow to the floor. I'm going to let my right elbow flex a little bit here. So I want the shoulders to be slightly tilted to one side, but I'm not locking out my elbow here because that's going to be a little bit too much of a twist. So one elbow on the floor, the other elbow slightly flexed. Whatever hand is on the floor, that's the leg I'm extending. And now with this leg extended, my hips and my shoulders are both going to be slightly tilted. The right side is going to be slightly higher than the left. I'm trying to keep my left knee directly under my left hip though. So pressing through the elbows, the elbow on the hand and that bent knee, I'm going to lift my straight leg up to the ceiling as I breathe out, trying to avoid dropping into the lower ribs or lifting my tailbone. And then I'm going to flex that knee right under my hip. Breathing out and breathing in. So we're trying to avoid any movement in the pelvis. So as my leg is reaching upwards, I'm thinking of drawing my tailbone downwards. As my knee is flexing, I'm thinking about lifting my tailbone upwards. I'm really maximizing the hip movement and minimizing any movement into the pelvis and lower back. I'm going to go for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to keep the leg lifted and I'm going to bend and straighten the knee. So I'm trying to keep that knee quite high so that I'm keeping the activity into the back of my hip, again not straining into the lower back. Good, strong pressure through the arms, keeping the neck nice and free. Head should be free to move around here. Breath nice and even. We're going to go for 3 more, 2 more, and 1 more. I'm going to keep the knee bent, and then I'm looking to lift that knee up to the side and lower. So knee is turning towards the outside, and foot is lowering down behind it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one, we're keeping that rotation, and then I'm straightening the legs, so knee and toe pointing a little bit more to the side, and bending the knee. So feeling that effort to the outside of the hip, keeping the trunk steady. We'll go for 5 more, 4, keeping that kneeling knee directly under the hip, 2, and 1. Perfect. Rotating the knee down, take the knee down, pushing up onto both hands, and taking a quick stretch back into the hips. Okay, we're going to repeat that on the opposite side. I'm just going to spin around. Alright, now this time, the right elbow's on the floor. Left elbow bends a little bit, but the shoulder is a little bit higher than the right. Left leg is going to reach, left hip a little bit higher than the right. And I'm going to lift that leg up, and then keeping my ribs tucked and my tailbone tucked, flexing the knee, tailbone lifting, tailbone tucking. So again, we're not actually physically moving the tailbone, it's just the direction you're focusing on to counter the leg movement so that we're not actually getting this movement from the lower back. Now we're going to go for 5 more here. So really working into the back of that leg, aiming to take the foot here a little higher than your hip. And because we're down on one elbow, we're less likely to sink into the lower back. 2 more, and 1 more. Perfect. We're going to keep the leg lifted. We're bending and straightening. I'm going to let myself a little bit close to the wall here. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the knee bent. We're looking to lift the knee to the side and rotate back down. So it's hip rotation, pelvis holding steady, feeling it all around the outside of the hip. 6 more. 5, check in with the neck, make sure you're not shrugging those shoulders up. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the knee up, and we're extending the leg and bending. Oh, so this kneeling hip, which is already tired, having done all the work to really support the pelvis here. So you're going to feel this in the bottom hip as much as in the top hip. Now we've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Rotate the knee down, pressing up into both hands and stretching back. Perfect. So from there, we're going to make our way down onto our belly, forehead down, hands to the outside of the shoulders, and we're still trying to counter sinking into the lower back. So still keeping a little bit of a tuck into the tailbone. Draw the shoulder blades back, lift the head and chest, and get an extension through your upper back. Keep the lift, take a breath, and lower back down. Good. 2 more like that. Breath in and out. And lower. Good, last one. No pressure into the hands here. Arms are resting on the floor. Good. Okay, taking the hands now down around the lower ribs. Try to keep those elbows squeezing in gently. We're not pinching the shoulder blades together, we're just keeping those elbows rotated inwards. Draw down through the tips of the elbows and feel that lovely stretch into the upper shoulders. Now really focus on the tailbone here. We're not really pressing into the hands, but more reaching through the elbows as you lift. Keep weight into the tailbone, lift, take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower back down. Okay, taking 2 more like that. Breath in and out. In and out. Good, last one. And out. And lower back down. Okay, from here we're going to try and lift up a little higher. You can come back to this position if it feels better for you, or keep your hands in this more challenging position if you want. Either way, shoulder blades drawing down your back, or keeping the elbows narrow, lifting the head, chest, ribs, and if the hands are lower down, maybe aim to lift the hips as well. So we're looking for a very even extension, full length of the spine, front of the hips as well. Take a breath in here, push through the hands, and as you breathe out, hips down, elbows stay narrow, ribs down, and head down. We're going to take whatever version you're working on 2 more times. We'll just demonstrate the other one. Shoulder blades back and down, head and shoulders lift. Float away from the floor, hands are supporting rather than pushing. We still want those shoulder blades moving down the back. And lower back down. Okay, last one, whatever one you want to do. Remember, we're not compressing the lower back, we're lengthening the tummy muscles. And lower back down. And then pressing yourself right back and stretching over your hips. Good. From there, making your way onto your back, and if you want to normally use a little cushion under the head, you can. Laying back down, knees bent. Okay, so tilting into your imprint, so find that level clock on the front of the belly, sliding one leg straight, and we're going to reach both arms overhead. And we're looking to keep a gentle pressure down through the bent knee, flex the straight leg up, tuck the chin, lift the arms, and then think about sliding the breastbone downwards as you draw the ribs down towards the floor. Now you may want to bend this knee if you want to. We want to keep weight into the sit bone, or if you feel comfortable, you can extend the leg up. Breathing in, you're reaching the arms overhead and reaching the leg down. We're going to go for 50. 2, 3. Take it as fast or as slow as you want. I'm not mad on building lots of speed. I really want to keep the quality of the movement. So very much think about what's happening at the pelvis. I want both sit bones drawing downwards and the pelvis to stay level, that clock to stay level. Now, stop counting. I would say let's go for another 6. 5, 4, head down, flex the knee, and we're going to swap the legs around. Swap that right leg away, pelvis is level, reaching the arms over the head, reach through the fingertips, reach through the toes, tuck the chin, lift the hands, lift the leg. We're going to go 50 on this side. Slow and steady, weight into the tailbone, lower back stays neutral. Okay, we're going for 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Flex that knee, lower the head down, come into your imprint, lift up into your tabletop. You can go with bent legs if you want. I'm going to extend the legs, reaching through the fingertips, tuck the chin, slide the ribs down, lift the head and shoulders up, looking between your thighs, keep the arms reaching, so reach through the fingertips. The idea of those ribs drawing to the floor as the breastbone slides down, lower one leg and swap. If you need a little bit of support, you can very gently hold on to that top leg and swap over. 5 more to either side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Both legs up, knees bend, let the head come down, take a breath. One more here, we're going to take the hands behind the back, tuck the chin. Again, sinking the ribs down, sliding the breastbone down, knees hip distance apart. We're going to keep the knee over the hip as you extend one leg and rotate yourself over. So don't think about pulling the elbow so much. I really want the movement to come from the lower ribs. Back to the center and swap. We're going 10 to either side. That's 1. Reach the leg. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Oh, lower the head down, hug the knees in. Perfect. We're going to take the feet to the floor, allow your lower back to find that natural arch, reach the arms out wide, shoulder blades nice and flat to the floor. We're going to take the knees and the ankles together. Breathe in, lower both knees to the right, find that twisting stretch. Breathing out to lift back up. Breathing in to the left. And breathing out. And out. Good. Nice twisting stretch. Keep the shoulder blades flat. You will feel the challenge to the tummy muscles, but also the stretch. Those muscles that were really just working so hard a minute ago. Good. And coming back up. Okay. From there, we're going to hug one knee into the chest, slide the other leg away, and think about pulling the knee to your chest, shoulder blades heavy and the leg heavy. Take a few breaths there. And then swapping over legs, hug the knee to the chest. Let the hip become heavy. And then take both feet in. Let the knees rest together, hands onto the belly, close down your eyes, and we're going to finish with 5 deep breaths. If possible, in and out through the nose, but whatever feels best for you. But the breath is as effortless as possible, particularly that breath out. Just a sense of letting go and release. Having the opportunity just to do a quick scan head to toe, just noticing if you're holding tension or if you're feeling any discomfort. And taking the opportunity just to breathe into it and seeing if you can allow it to soften with the exhale. 2 more breaths like that. One more deep breath in and out. Perfect. Blinking your eyes open and taking your time to come back up. Perfect. So short and sweet. Hopefully you felt the benefits from it. Enjoy, and I will hopefully see you soon.